Good evening, everyone. It's Alicia here. Hello. Alicia from Unleash Fit Living. I'm really excited about tonight's topic. I'm going to be busting some myths to do with belly fat. Some of the things that you hear in the health and fitness industry that are absolute rubbish. So if that's something you're interested in learning about, please stay with me. I'm going to probably be on here for about half an hour or so tonight sharing about that. I'm actually getting used to the flipped screen. So I flipped it tonight so that I can show you a couple of books that I've been reading that are to do with this topic. So it means that when I'm looking at the camera, if I look kind of weird and I'm moving strange, it's because I'm trying to get my bearings. But anyway, so yes, all to do with belly fat myths is what we're talking about tonight. There are a lot out there, a lot of myths, and sometimes you really need to wade through all the information out there and find, what's backed with research, what's actually truth from fiction. So that's what we're going to jump into. So first of all, if you are jumping on live, I would love you to just say hello in the comments. Let me know if you can hear me and everything's clear before we get into it. And I also want to let you know that in the link in the video description, there is a link in the video description straight to my blog that has a free ebook where I actually go into specific practical tips on how to actually lose belly fat that's not based on any of the rubbish and crap out there. And there's going to probably be some tips and tricks in there that are surprising to you that actually might not have to do with just food and exercise. So if that interests you, please grab that at the link in the video description. So where this whole topic came about was it was probably close to maybe even 12 months ago. I had a lady email me, and she emailed me and asked me this exact question. She said, what are the best ab exercises to get a flat tummy? Now, my first reaction was I could write back and give her some ab exercises that, are effective for strengthening the abdominal muscles, but in my head I knew that would actually not answer her question because just doing ab exercises doesn't equate getting a flat tummy. So I went about writing back to her to answer this question, and ended up writing probably a much longer response than she thought I would, and just went into the fact that there's more than just doing ab exercises. That's not even really effective, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight when it comes to losing belly fat. And I basically, in short, said to her, look, if you really want to lose belly fat, I'm going to do this a few times tonight, I think, belly fat. If you really want to lose belly fat, then you need to change how you think, you need to change how you eat, you need to change how you move, and you also need to look at perhaps even your stress levels, your hormonal levels, your sleep patterns as well, if you really want to be effective in losing belly fat. So anyway, that's what we're going to get into. So I'm just going to jump straight in tonight with myth number one. Myth number one when it comes to losing belly fat is that if I just do crunches and sit-ups, I'll lose belly fat and get abs. Well, that is a big fat myth, okay? First of all, crunches and sit-ups are some of the most least effective ab exercises anyway. They're not necessarily the ones that I would be recommending if you wanted to get stronger abs or work on your abs. So yeah, going into that, do crunches and sit-ups help you lose body fat? Well, when you think about it, the abdominal muscles, and there are obviously quite a few there, you've got your transverse abdominals, you've got your abdominis rectus, and you've got your obliques on the side. All of those are actually quite small muscles. So if all you were doing was just working out your abdominal muscles, you're actually not going to get that much of a calorie expenditure. So do crunches and sit-ups help you lose belly fat and get a flat tummy? No, they don't. Okay, so if you've jumped on Pinterest lately and look, You can admit, if you want, if you ever jumped on Pinterest and typed in, flat belly workout, and trust me, there's bunches of them on there. And I looked up a few titles, the flat stomach belly blaster workout, flat abs in 5, bye-bye love handles workout, 8 minutes to flat abs. Well, I'm sorry, ladies, but that is just absolute garbage. Those workouts, sure, they might have some great ab strengthening exercises, but doing that workout is not going to get you a flat tummy. That is not the answer. So this is the thing. If you want to get a flat tummy, there's a layer of fat that's going to be sitting above those abdominal muscles that you really need to lower and decrease if you want to actually have a flat tummy or see the ab muscles underneath. So that's what the issue really is. It's not about necessarily just working the abs, but it's actually about lowering your body fat percentage overall in order to have a flat tummy. And crunches and sit-ups don't necessarily help you lose body fat. So that's number one. Secondly, part of the truth that sort of smashes that myth as well is that there is no such thing as spot reduction. So you can't just go, oh, I'm going to just lose fat from this part of my body, where my tummy is. You have to take a whole body approach when it comes to fat loss. And unfortunately, when it comes to your body fat, well, there's a few things. First of all, it usually takes quite a while to put body fat on, right? So is it going to take quite a while to probably take it off as well? Absolutely. Secondly, you usually put on body fat in a certain order. So some people, they might put it on on their belly first, or their face, their arms, their butt, etc., right? So it's going to probably come off in that reverse order. Now, where do most of us carry our fat? It's around our abdomen area. So that's actually usually the last area that's going to lose fat. And so when it comes to getting a flat tummy, you need to actually take a whole body approach. It's not just about losing fat around your belly. It's actually about losing fat overall, because when you burn into your fat cells and burn that energy, your body's not, you can't tell it, just target the fat that's around my belly. It doesn't work like that. It's going to target your whole body, and it will come off slowly in the way that you've probably put it on slowly. Okay, that's myth number one. Give me a thumbs up if you thought that was good, and if that actually made sense to you, that, doing crunches and sit-ups is not necessarily the way to lose fat and get a flat tummy. Awesome. Okay, so myth number 2 that we move on to is that if you just take supplement X or Y or Z, then you're also going to get abs. Now, I don't know about you, but there's a heck of a lot of ads and commercials and things out there saying, get the latest fandangled, pill that's going to help you get a flat tummy. I hate to say it, but if you're silly enough to believe that's true, then you're just gonna go down a road that really is going to waste your money, waste your time, and get you even more frustrated than you were before you tried it. Because sure, taking a shake or a pill or some kind of supplement, you might see some results in the short term, but are you really going to be able to do that long term anyway? Plus, what's in it? Is there a bunch of crap in those supplements that is actually detrimental to your overall health? There's so many things that I really hate about the whole supplementation and shake diet thing, because it's just a bunch of rubbish. So anyway, there is no one supplement alone that can give you a flat tummy and can promise you long-term sustainable results. So throw that out the window. I'm sorry to disappoint, but there is no shortcut to losing body fat in general, but particularly belly fat. Those sorts of things will always come and go, and we need to actually just take a little bit of account in ourselves and just go, look, are we willing to change our lifestyle and actually make a consistent long-term change in the way that we eat, think, move, sleep, the way that we spend our time in calmness and meditative states rather than in a stressful state? Are we going to change those things for the long term in order to get the results we want? That is truly the only way that you're going to get there and be able to maintain the results you have. Doing a diet or taking a pill or a shake or something like that, that is not maintainable. For the short term, sure, you can do that for 6, 8, 10 weeks or whatever. For the rest of your life, not necessarily, and it's probably harmful to your health. Okay, that was rant number 2 on myth number 2, that taking supplements gets you abs. Big myth. All right, number 3. This is related to number 1, but this is another myth that's out there, is that if I train my abs and just do ab exercises every day, that is going to get me a flat tummy. There's programs out there I've seen, 30 days to a flat tummy or 30 days to get abs. That stuff, again, it's going to work the abdominal muscles, but unless you're doing other forms of exercise, for example, strength training, high intensity interval training that's going to burn a large amount of calories and really tap into those fat stores, as well as some gentle exercise too, like Pilates and walking. Those kinds of exercises are what's going to help your body reduce its fat percentage, not doing ab exercises every day. Now, it is important to do abdominal exercises, don't get me wrong, because having a strong core is really a big part of having a great, healthy body and physique. However, doing ab exercises doesn't reduce fat. It strengthens your abdominal muscles, and if you have also been reducing fat, then you might see them, and it might look great, but I'm going to get to something about that in a little minute. So, let me take a breath here. The only way to see abs is obviously, like I said before, is to get rid of that layer of abdominal fat above them. And yeah, you hold most of your fat in that area, so you actually just need to take a whole body approach. Doing HIIT exercises and strength training and Pilates will actually help you remove and reduce your body fat, and then you will over time see it coming off from your belly as well. So don't just do ab exercises to get a flat tummy. That is one of the silliest myths out there. You need to take a whole body approach and make sure that you're training for fat burning by doing strength training. So lifting weights actually helps you burn fat. The more muscle that you have on your body, the more your body has the ability to burn fat. So muscle is a good thing. You want more of that and you want less of the fat. And then you also want to be doing, like I said before, gentle exercise like Pilates and walking and things like that, that's going to promote your nervous system being in more of a restful and repairing state rather than a stressful state. Okay, so that's myth number 3. Doing ab exercises every day does not get you a flat tummy. Got it? Awesome. Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense. Okay, so moving on to number 4. Now this is one that really irks me, and this myth unfortunately is really prominent in the health and fitness industry, particularly among us girls. And the myth is that if you don't have visible abs, you're not fit. This particular one I've grappled with myself. So when I became a personal trainer, I've been into fitness for over a decade now. When I did my certificates to become a trainer and I guess got more serious, I had a personal goal of okay, I'm going to get visible abs. And it was just the one thing that I was if I can just achieve that, then I've reached it. I'm healthy, I'm fit, right? So I had a, hey Michaela, thanks for joining. I had a photo shoot lined up, so I thought, okay, this is going to be my chance to give it a serious crack. I was training twice a week with a personal trainer. I was sticking to a strict meal plan, and I was working out about 6 days a week. And over 8 weeks, I was able to bring my body fat percentage down to about 14%. Now, the average healthy body fat for a woman is around 20 to 30% body fat. So getting it down to about 14%, I was super stoked with myself. I was really happy. And when I got the photos done, I was really happy. I was super happy with how I looked. And however, even at 14%, do you reckon you could see visible abs on me? No, it didn't happen. And it got me thinking, and I thought, what the heck's it going to take? How extreme do I have to get in order for my body to get visible abs? And it really gave me a bit of a mindset change and helped me to really think about, well, what's really important? Is it that important to me that I can just say, yeah, I've got visible abs, therefore I'm awesome? Or to actually just maintain a sustainable, healthy body fat percentage where, I'm not putting myself at risk. And part of that too, I was talking to my naturopath about it, and she warned me. She said, Alicia, if you want to fall pregnant in the near future, staying on a low body fat percentage will actually make it harder to fall pregnant. So it made me really just take a step back and go, how important is it really to have visible abs? Is it that big of a deal? And does it mean I'm not fit if I don't have them? Hell no, that is the answer, okay, girls? And this is the thing, like, everyone is different. Every person's body is different. Everyone's makeup is different. So there are girls out there who just naturally have a lower body fat percentage. I've got a friend, Cassie, who's living with us at the moment, and she's just one of those girls who just has to, she eats and eats and eats, and yet she doesn't put on weight. Other people like myself, if I eat and eat and eat, it ain't good. So we all have different bodies, and we need to work with what they are. And just because, one girl can maintain visible abs over someone else doesn't mean we're not fit or we're not healthy. So I just want, if anyone out there has been thinking that that's the case, then just reevaluate and think about why you want it. Is it that you want to be fit and healthy overall and just maintain the best version of you? Or are you fixated on an unhealthy desire and mindset that's like, unless I have that, I can't be happy and content with myself? That's something I had to really face, was to go, am I holding on to something that's really stupid, like really not worth it, I'm all for goals. I'm all for setting yourself a challenge and working towards being the best version of you. But the best version of you may not look like the person on the magazine cover, or it may not look like your best friend or whoever it might be. You just need to be happy within yourself before you even reach that goal, and realize how amazing you already are. And choose that because you are an amazing person inside and out already, you're just going to give yourself and your body the best possible chance at thriving. And that may be with visible abs, and it may be without. So there's my rant for myth number 4. So yeah, in no means am I saying don't have goals like that. Michaela, awesome that you've got that goal. But this is the thing. We all, we might find that certain goals are just not going to work for our body. That does not mean that we aren't achieving amazing things and that we aren't fit and super healthy. So yeah, anyway, I'll leave it there with you. And just, actually, I'm going to go on just a little bit more on this. The truth is, a lot of the women who are on the magazine covers and are, have amazing bodies, to get to that point, they've had to go into major calorie deficit, most likely. They've had to, stop. Often they will stop drinking water for up to 2 days before a photo shoot or an event, so they're so dehydrated. Their hormones are usually majorly out of whack. There's so many unhealthy things that come from achieving, this unrealistic goal of, I'm only fit if I've got visible abs. So we just need to not compare ourselves, basically, is the message here. And all power to the girls who can do it and maintain healthy lifestyle and practice. But you don't need to have visible abs to maintain a fit and healthy lifestyle. So yeah, just remember that, okay? All right, moving on to myth number 5. Hi, Daniel Christie. Myth number 5 is that by cutting out fruit, sugar and carbs, I'll automatically get a flat tummy. Now, part of this is actually true to some extent. Yes, eating high sugar, highly refined carbs are just not good in general, right? So yeah, cutting them out is going to definitely help, because you're lowering your calorie intake, and not only calorie intake, but high sugary foods and high carb starchy foods, packaged processed foods, all that stuff, sweets and treats, like, they're not actually giving your body any of the nutrients they need anyway. They're really nutrient they're lacking nutrients. So yes, part of the answer to losing belly fat is cutting those out. But the thing is, you could still cut those things out and be eating huge meals that are like totally blown out of proportion in terms of size, or just eating too much, and you might just not exercise at all. So just cutting out carbs and sugar is not the full answer. You need to look at this whole losing body fat in a really holistic way. Thanks, Leanne, for your comment. Yeah, this is the thing. Cutting out sugar and carbs, that's not the whole answer. And even cutting out carbs is not necessarily an answer. It really comes down to your body type when it comes to carbs, to be honest, and what carbs you're eating, when you're eating them, and how much you are eating of them. When it comes to sugar, fruit. Fruit is not bad. There's a myth out there as well that, fruit is just like packed with sugar, so you shouldn't eat it. Well, the thing is, the sugar in fruit is different to the sugar in a Mars bar, for a start. And not only that, but fruit is not just natural sugars, it's also got fiber and other nutrients and vitamins in them. So when you're eating an apple, for example, because of the fiber and everything else that's in it, your body's going to take longer to process that, right? So it's actually going to give you a longer energy spike as such than just eating something that's been highly refined and processed. So cutting out fruit isn't the answer to getting a flat tummy either. It's just about eating a variety, and again, not eating crazy amounts of any kind of food. So yeah, that's myth number 5. Number 6 is I just need to eat less calories than I burn to lose belly fat. There I go again. Now, this is one of the most popular myths, and I'm going to call it a myth because I truly believe it is so, that's in the health and fitness industry, that you've just got to have a calorie deficit in terms of the amount of calories that you eat and consume needs to be less than the amount of calories you expend through exercise. Now, of course, that plays into losing body fat, definitely, but again, it is not the whole picture. There's actually many people out there, women in particular, who do this, who follow the calorie deficit rule, but still struggle to lose body fat. So that makes you think there must be more to it than just having less calories that you eat versus the amount of calories that you burn. And this is because Dr. Libby calls this, in fact, the calorie fallacy. It is a fallacy to believe that that is the only thing that equates to losing body fat. For example, say you were sticking to a 1,500 calories a day limit, but you were making sure that you were exercising, and burning 500 calories a day, so that your base level amount of calories you need just for normal survival is being cut into by the amount of exercise. You might need 1,200 calories for survival. You've eaten 15, but you've worked out you've burnt 500 calories, and therefore your body has gone into calorie deficit. Doing this, yes, it does to some extent help with burning body fat. However, if the calories that you're eating in that 1,500 calories a day proportion is made up of crap, processed, highly refined, sugary, fried, fatty crap, do you think that might have a bit of an impact on your body fat? Absolutely, it's going to. So it's not just about calories in versus calories out. It's about, well, what kinds of calories are you eating? Are you eating nutrient-dense foods that are going to actually promote your body's liver functioning and detox capabilities to actually remove toxins? Did you know that toxins are actually stored in our fat cells in the body? So if we are like fully overloaded with toxins, and toxins can come in many forms, then our fat cells is where they're going to hold them. So we actually need to be able to detox and remove all that toxic waste from our bodies in order for our fat cells to be able to be burned. So it's not calories in versus calories out is not just the answer. There's other factors that impact whether or not you lose belly fat. So on that, what I wanted to say as well is that things such as your stress levels, things such as your quality of your sleep, how nutrient dense your food is that you're eating, and also your hormonal levels and functioning, as well as your liver function, all play into whether or not your body is in a state in which it can burn fat. Now, just a little bit on this, and if you're interested in learning more about this, I really would encourage you to check out Dr. Libby Weaver. She's got some amazing resources. So one of them is this book here called The Calorie Fallacy, and it's awesome. So a lot of what I'm sharing right now is actually from this book. And also she goes into similar things in this book called Rushing Women Syndrome. So basically what she talks about is that our bodies can, they function in either a fight or flight mode, which is the sympathetic nervous system, or a rest and repair mode, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, what happens is, because we live these crazy lives where we're constantly under stress, we're drinking coffee and it's just buzzing us crazy, and then, we're getting these crazy emails, work's stressful, our relationships are stressful. These days, we're finding that we are constantly living in a fight or flight mode. Our body's perceiving all these stresses as threatening to our life, right? They don't know that the reason why we're stressed is because of an email and not because a tiger's chasing us, right? So when we're in this state, our stress hormones are released, cortisol, etc., and it actually communicates to our body, you're in danger, hold on to body fat because we might have to go into survival mode. And so we need to hold on to as much fat as possible. We don't want to burn that because we're in stress mode, right? So this is crazy. This is crazy because we just don't even consider that this is what's impacting our body fat. However, if we can actually get our bodies to get to be more in a state of the parasympathetic nervous system state, where it's in more of the rest and repair state, then our body is actually able to burn fat in that state, so not in a stressful state. So let me ask you out there, how many of you find that you're in a stressful state more often than not throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your month? A lot of us are. And we wonder why. We're eating so well and we're exercising so much, but we're still not losing body fat. Well, it's because we're not allowing our body to be in a state where it can burn body fat effectively. So on that, some tips on how to get ourselves into that rest and repair state is we obviously need to address our stress levels and see if there are any stresses that we can remove from our lives. Some of those can be easier than others. Dr. Libby talks about how caffeine adds to this stress burden on our body. And so as much as, caffeine might give you that kick in the morning that you think you need, it's actually just because your body's gotten addicted to it, and it's just calling for something because you've trained it to want that and think it needs it. I reckon decrease the stress in your life. Practice some diaphragmatic breathing. Did you know that the only way we can communicate to our bodies that we are in a safe environment is through the way we breathe? So if our heart rate is constantly high and we're shallow breathing all the time, it means that our bodies think that we are in danger. So what we need to do is learn how to breathe diaphragmatically, nice and deeply, and tell our bodies, no, we're actually okay. It was just a stressful email from work, but our bodies are not in danger, so we just need to breathe deeply. Another thing that plays into that is obviously our sleep as well. So if we're getting quality sleep, that can actually help our bodies return to that PNS state, which is where rest and repair happens, and that is when our body can effectively burn fat. Okay, I feel like I talked right then. I think that covers all of the myths. So that was number 6, that I just need to eat less calories than I burn to lose belly fat. That is a myth. There are many other factors such as your stress, your sleep, your hormones, your liver function, the kinds of foods you're eating that can affect it. Now, if you want 6 truth bombs, as in just 6 practical tips on how you can enhance your body's ability to burn fat, which will eventually get to burning the belly fat off, please go to my blog and download my free ebook, which will give you these 6 tips on how to do that, and some really practical steps in there on what to do when it comes to exercise, when it comes to clean eating, when it comes to sleep and stress management, for example. So yeah, we've got to look at this whole belly fat, body fat thing from a really holistic point of view. And if nothing else, I think for us women in particular, we just need to change our mindset when it comes to this and get over the media and social media's pressure, unrealistic pressure that we have to look like these airbrushed, photoshopped, fake boob models in order to be fit and healthy. That is just simply not the case. So I hope that you've enjoyed that tonight. I hope you've learnt something, and please, if you've found it beneficial, I'd love you to share this video on your feed so more people can hear about this, and hopefully we can just start a movement of women who are not going to let themselves be defined by popular media, but we just are completely content, confident and happy within ourselves and are just living our best lives possible. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. If you have any questions, by the way, please type them up in the comments and I'll get to them. Even if it's not during the live, of course, I can get to them later. But yeah, thank you for joining me. It's been fun, and I will catch you next Monday night at 8 p.m. for another live. All right, bye.